Hi everyone, my name is Ella Mushin and I am a second year studying international affairs and Spanish as a double major with a minor in economics. I've been in the international affairs college programs both my freshman year and my sophomore year, and I lived in Smith Steve on the overflow floor last year and then in my sorority house this year. But for my second year project, I chose to do an internship. Quick summary of this internship. So basically, I had the opportunity to intern under Representative Michelle Lepore Hagan, who represents the 58th District of Ohio. She's in the Ohio House of Representatives, so I worked down in the Reif Center, which is a big skyscraper in downtown Columbus. Sorry, I'm talking fast. During this internship, I worked directly under her legislative aide, Michaela Hahn-Burries, who also happens to be a city councilwoman in Upper Arlington, just a town over, which is really cool. So throughout this internship, I had exposure to a lot of different parts of like the legislative system and just how all of that works on a state level, but also working directly under Michaela, I had the opportunity to see how things work at the sort of local level as well, which was really cool. Also, it was really amazing to be able to work under such strong women. Being a woman who's interested in going into a career revolving around law, I want to go to law school after I graduate. It was really wonderful to work under women who were so strong and empowered and really installed that in me as well, and sort of that environment around the office. So when it came to choosing this project, I'm typically someone who's quite frustrated by politics, especially due to these times and how weird it is and how democracy is like ever changing. But I had sort of strayed away from my interest because it frustrated me. So I wasn't really involved and I didn't really read the news very often, but I knew that it was something important. So when it came to choosing this project, I really wanted to do something where I could learn more about this, and I really, really did. So I was made aware of the Ohio House of Representatives internship programs by a bunch of emails. It's kind of a well-known program around Ohio State, as they offer a ton of internships, which is really awesome. So then after I had read like an informational email, I went to an informational meeting with the program director, and so there are actually two programs that they offer. So they have the internship program and they have a PAGE program. So though the PAGE program is paid and the internship program is not, I really wanted to do the internship program because you get to work directly with a representative, which is what I really wanted to do. Because then I was able to more like understand on a more personal level how everything works rather than just work with a bunch of interns under one program director, if that makes any sense. So after that, I went through the application process. It was super easy. Just had to answer a couple short essay questions, and I was supported very well throughout that process by Stephen and by my advisors, my parents as well, as they read through my essays and things like that. So some of the tasks that I had for this internship were really awesome because I was given a lot of responsibility and I felt very trusted. And so given that responsibility, I was able to use my own abilities to a higher level, I guess. So some of these responsibilities I had, my main ones had to do with like constituent communication. So I sorted through all of the mail and all of the emails, which sounds like a menial task, but it was really interesting because I got to see that the problems that were really affecting her district and what were like some key things that kept popping up. So one of these was the Ed Choice vouchers, which is basically a system that is trying to privatize the education system. So as Rep. Lepore Hagan was a Democrat, this is something that she's obviously very much against, and a lot of people in her district are against as well. So with that issue, I also drafted constituent responses, so something that like the legislative aide or the rep could just send out to a bunch of people, sort of talking about what she's doing. So then I got to use like my writing skills. I also drafted press releases regarding different things like sponsor testimony and stuff like that. I also had the ability to sit on every single one of the representatives' meetings, phone calls, her committee sessions or sponsor testimonies, different luncheons with constituents. I was invited to all of those things. So I sort of acted like her shadow and just saw everything that she was doing, which was really great. I also took phone calls, as most interns do. How this is relevant to IA is that I was able to see how many governmental issues disproportionately affect the immigrant populations, as well as minority populations as well, which I thought was very interesting. And even though this was on a smaller scale at the state level, we still in Ohio have such a large immigrant population, especially in Columbus. So that's sort of how it related to IA. So I would say that this was probably the biggest learning experience I've had, not only just in my career at Ohio State, but also in my whole life. Even though it was unfortunately cut short by the coronavirus, I learned so much. I feel really blessed to have been able to work with women who exposed me to such a variety of experiences and allowed me to utilize and build upon my own skills, specifically focusing on public speaking and writing. Being able to talk in meetings, which I was very much able to do, as well as draft those constituent responses and press releases. It was a different type of writing that I had never been exposed to before. I also learned a lot about the legislative process when it came to drafting bills and how the bill gets to Capitol Hill and stuff like that. I knew a little bit about it, but just not even close to how complex the system really is. But what I really enjoyed most was being able to work with the people and just speaking with the people in the district and things like that. So some future implications. So as I said earlier, when I graduate from OSU, I would really like to pursue a career in law. I'm not really sure how that will manifest itself yet, but after this internship, I'm definitely interested in policy building. I'll want to do that on the international spectrum, working for an NGO or something like that, but definitely developing these writing skills have really helped me and will help me in a future career. And finally, I was able to establish a lot of really great networking connections, especially with the rep as well as her legislative aide, Michaela. When I would go into a career in the future, looking for future internships, I've really created really great relationships and bonds with these women that I feel will be able to help me a lot in the future. But overall, this was a fantastic internship program. If you're interested, I would absolutely recommend applying to it. I would say stick to your party lines because you definitely talk a lot about politics with the aid and things like that. But it was really, really wonderful, and I feel very lucky to have done this. So thank you guys for listening. Bye.